Markets are, tell you what, if you watch the stream from yesterday, obviously, first thing I'm gonna do is just eat crow. This is why we trade low time frame volatility. I was talking about SPY moving to the top side, maybe 10 points. Well, what did SPY do? Down 15 plus points today, right? Went exactly the opposite way. I knew it was going to make a move. Boy, it really looked like it was going to be the top side. So it didn't. Here's the point that I'm going to make right now. Is that if this would have been a day that I would have been trading, if I would have been intraday trading today, I would have been up early. I would have been waiting for pre-market on traditional. I would have been watching the Nasdaq mini futures, right? I would have been looking for some certain little tendencies I like to look for, right? That I keep to myself with Bitcoin while all this is going on. Guys, my bias would have changed immediately. I'd have been riding some of these down moves on the 15-minute chart today. Oh, yes. Beautiful little moves. Would have been epic. But that's my point. This is why we trade low time frame volatility. And I know people, when they watch this stuff on YouTube, they want to, well, what do you think's going to happen, right? So I'll get into these macro time frames. I'll look around. I'll kind of say, you know what, this looks like this is going to do that. Guys, it's volatile. Random market. From what I'm noticing now, about 80% of the time, it's random, right? It used to be a lot more random. You can go back, right, with the entropy indicator and look. If you go back in time and look at that, it's probably moved more towards the 80%. You maybe even 75%. It really depends on what time frame, right? So, but 75, 80% of the time, market's random. Got no idea what's going to happen. You have to be quick on your feet. You need indicators. You need indicators built on the returns. You need to be able to recognize where different distribution levels are, whether it be normal distribution, right? Standard deviation levels, or Laplace distribution, probability percentage levels. It's a powerful way to look at the markets. It'll change everything you do. Okay? The returns always make the move first. So once you learn how to read these alpha trading indicators that these brilliant coders have created, they're very powerful. A lot of these new ones too. We just published one today. I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, it becomes really easy. It really does. You'll really, when you're looking at the market through this lens, a lot of things are going to start to come way clearer because you've been looking at the market through the fog of traditional technical analysis. Why do I say it's a fog? Because they're lagging indicators, man. It is a fog. What are you doing? Right? Now, I've said this a million times before. If you follow 3 rules, right? First off, don't ever be emotionally attached to your trade. Second off, always take profits and take them early. Third, limit your losses. You pile those 3 together and you trade the low time frames. Talking about when you're starting to look for an entry. I mean, this is when you're looking for bias at the beginning of the day. You're barely peeking at the 4-hour chart. You're taking one quick look at the 4-hour. Most of your work is coming from the 90, the 45, and the 15-minute chart. By being able to read those 3 time frames together, you're going to get a lot of 5-minute entries, and they are going to kill it, right? You're going to get great entries when you know where the deviation levels are at. You know where to take profits, right? Especially with the price action volatility ranges. Right. When you get an overlap there with a deviation level, whether it be to the top side or the downside, right? Whatever this random price action right now, you'll know when it goes in the trend. That's why we love our entropy indicator. And when that happens, you see it start to drop in the trend. I'm telling you what, a lot of things should be firing on that chart. And chances are, if you were reading the indicators properly, you would have got a great entry. If you were not already in on that trade, you'll see it. It was there. If you know what you're looking at. That's why these are pretty powerful indicators. That's why, I've showed people this chart before, and they just go, "Oh no, it." I don't know what it is. It's a little overwhelming at first. First off, people have no clue what they're looking at, right? They're not recognizing anything they're used to. I mean, some of the oscillators over here, right? That's familiar looking, kinda. We've got some moving averages. That's what people think. Yeah, they are, but they're variance log moving averages. So we just do things differently. And you put up some of those traditional technical analysis indicators against some of these. It doesn't. There's nothing to even put up against volatility and entropy. Let's get this straight right off the bat. There's nothing really worth anything, right? There's some volatility indicators. Nothing compared to what we've got here, though. And we have really broke down a lot of things and created some great ones. So yeah, powerful, man. Thought I'd go on a little rant about that. But yeah, so a majority of your information is coming from those low time frames, like the 90, the 45, the 15. You're getting entries on the 5-minute. You're in there roughhousing. It's rough. Look at the charts. Go to the 5-minute for crying out loud. Look at the dang thing. Kidding me right now? And first off, what was I talking about yesterday? Literally, all the bear div. All the bear div on the 4-hour. I mean, the whole move. This first little move right here created the highest high. Everything after this, all lower highs. Real choppy. Then got up under the zero mean. Woo! Things flushing out. But what's happening right now? Building bull div now on the 4-hour. Right? So good stuff. See what happens. Maybe this thing pulls out of the hole. I mean, and it's so obvious. And I was even thinking this when I was looking at the charts. As soon as traditional markets close, look at the charts. It's almost like the pressure was relieved and Bitcoin just started floating back up. I mean, it's one day we'll know the story, right? One day we'll know the real story. But yeah, it's interesting. There's some things going on that people aren't aware of. I'm not even aware. I can just tell there's something's not right. But it's all good. That's why we trade the way we do. But so all that bear div played out. I mean, it really did. And then you're closing 4-hour candles again. Back up. Get off there. Back up under, right? The wave trend. Got back up here. But I was talking about this yesterday. I was going 3 wicks right into the reverse fissure. I even said I was like, no good. But at the same time, I looked at the SPY chart, right? In the end, it was almost like the Bitcoin charts were a little conflicting. But then I looked at SPY, it looked good. So I was like, I thought SPY was going to have a 2 days in a row, have another 10-point move to the top side. Well, what happened? The freaking volatility changed, right? It flipped, boom, but it was happening pre-market. So, crazy. Here, let me show you. There we go, right? All this was going on pre-market. Here's where the market opened down here, right? Crazy. So you're seeing that, and you're like, very interesting. And is what it did. Boy, I tell you what, it opened out below. This is the 68.3 range right here, right? It opens up way, pre-market dumps way below the bottom side, pulls back up, rejects there, and for goodness sakes, rest of the day, right? I'm sure if we looked at the charts on the low time frames, this was probably a trade, especially if you were really good at reading the 45 and the 15, that you probably would have been able to stay in all day. I mean, profitable, yeah. Traditional market, dump, right? 3.7%. That's big for traditional market. I was talking to MJ about an hour ago about this. You know what's even more impressive? Bitcoin's only down 2.8%. Hello? So SPY was down 3.7% today. Bitcoin's only down 2.8. Do you understand kind of what that means? There's a lot the more people want to think is what people want. They want the institutional adoption, right? But they also want Bitcoin to decouple from the traditional markets, and you're not going to get that. You're never going to get that. Those two don't work together. Think about it logically, right? The more institutional adoption, hello, these markets are going to be highly correlated, and they are right now. But the thing that used to happen when Bitcoin and traditional markets used to dump or pump together, it would be like SPY has a 2.53% move to the downside. Bitcoin got crushed 10%. I know everybody at probably this point, I babbled on so long, you're like, where are you going with this? Understands what I'm talking about now, right? That would always happen. It would be like literally a 5x sometimes. More Bitcoin percentage down or up when SPY was pumping or dumping. Now it's like, hello, SPY dumped more than Bitcoin. I'm pretty surprised Bitcoin didn't get hammered more. Another point I'm trying to get at. But look at SPY. Look how SPY closed. Pretty damn ugly, right? Pretty damn ugly. Let me see something. Where it is. So when they open up, when SPY opens up, right? New month. Telling you right now. Let's pull all this in. Let me go over here. Yeah. Let me put this on SPY real quick. 4 hour. No. Let's take a peek right here at the daily. Let me get out. It's lines. Let's throw some lines on the chart. Yeah, guys, this is only to block out time, block out the time series. Sorry, let me see here. Okay. Oh, bam. Boom, boom. Wow. So, what am I doing right now? I'm looking. Where's this monthly range going to be? Where is the monthly range going to be? I mean, look at these four massive volatile red candles. Look at those 4 days. Plus, I mean, you've got like four decent size bullish candles. A lot of this volatility this month to the downside. I mean, I'm talking about this new monthly range is probably going to be down 428 area. Right? It's really going to pull hard. You'd think, I mean, there was a lot of action going on here, right? There's a lot of volatility right here. When this price action turns around, when it gets up into this level, this will be real interesting. There's probably going to be, so if we get a new monthly level here, you're probably looking at a monthly, let me see, what's the difference in price? Probably S1 or R1. Right up in this area. Probably R1 and R2. filling this entire area right here. It's going to be tough to break through there for SPY, but look at this ugly daily candle. Are you kidding me right now? Oof. So, where are you going with this, Bilbo? Okay, so we're going to start out a new month looking like this. Bad. Here's one decent thing. So this move down, it was not off any bear div, right? All this action, or put it this way, I'm talking the returns oscillator is turned down. There is no bear div. Getting ready to flash. We're gonna get a flash on the correlation too. Look at the outlier on the log return z-score shooting straight down through the 99% confidence interval. When that happens, right, this baby, usually you might get a spring up out of here, but boy, oh boy, SPY has buried itself in a nice little hole here. It's crazy. Let me see something. Where was the monthly? Is that there was 376. I mean, it looks bad, but it's not as bad as it could be. I mean, this is the monthly S1 right here. Just broke back down to close below it. That was definitely something. You can look, right? The bears just kept trying to push it down below. Man, they really hammered him today. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this. I mean, we could get a little bounce coming out of the weekend. Let's see. Into that little chart art there. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, this volatility is hammered. I'll tell you what, the volatility is cranking on this move, and it's negatively correlated. So you're getting negatively correlated. Look at the z-score; it's ripping. This thing looks like if it works all the way to the top side here, SPY the beginning of next week at least is gonna freaking go into the gutter. Let me see here. Yeah, entropy percentile too, and look at the trend. Right, straight up dropping in the trend, building correlation to the downside. The other hand, right, you get a bounce here on the zero mean, right, with this bull div. See, guys, this is why. Do we have great indicators? We sure do. But this is where people get lost. They don't understand. You know, a lot of people talk about trend this, trend that. They have no idea. They don't have the indicators to even tell them when a data set is in trend. Well, we do, which is fantastic. There's some others out there. We think ours is the best. And our guys are just, and by the way, we did put out an indicator for all of our members today. The entropy oscillator. Check your invites. You should see it in there. If you have any questions, ask us about it. I'm sure Sayron's excited. It's pretty cool. I'm still working with it. That's the thing, you know, these guys make one at a time, right? I've been working with a lot of these for a while, but they're, you know, and I'm going to say which one, but I'm still working with a couple of these still. You got to get one at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. You try to throw this chart on somebody. I mean, yeah, you're going to go back to the yellow 21 and freaking support and resistance lines coming from data sets, and it's just going to shock your brain. It's a little overwhelming, and we understand that. That's why, right? If you're meant to trade like this, you'll find us at some point. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, that's about enough on SPY. We're gonna have to take a peek at this. You're gonna be wanting to watch the Nasdaq, the mini futures when they open back up Sunday evening, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's see. I mean, God literally just blitzed today, guys. Blitzed. Let's see something real quick before I move on to something else. Wow, sold at 93 bucks, huh? Holding up decently. I mean, some things got slayed, right? And this is even that, like, right, Bitcoin's down almost 3%, and you're seeing some alts down 9, 8, right, 7%. That's how it used to be with like Bitcoin in traditional markets. It'd be a lot more. Bitcoin would dump a lot more. Not anymore, man. Obviously, your altcoins are always going to get slayed. That's what people don't understand. I mean, they're out there losing money. Very few people trading these volatile markets are making any money, right? You might hear a lot of squawk about it, but don't believe it. It's hard. Hello, right? We're real. We're real at Alpha Trading. We know how hard it is, too. For crying out loud, man. It's no joke. Trading these markets is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. These indicators, though, you learn to read them over time, it makes it so much easier. So much easier. It's fantastic. You got to know what's going on with volatility. When the market's trending, right? When there's divergence between price action and returns, all this stuff is very important. Very, very important. Yeah, nothing really stuck out to. I mean, obviously, I knew I was going to see red across the board, but there's no real outliers. I mean, bake, right? Cake and bake are always pumping or getting slaughtered. Or it's funny though, you get out of the freaking groove of trading every day, and I mean, I'm just like looking at these coins, like, what the hell? I've been looking at a lot of JPEGs lately. Somewhere MJ's laughing. It's all good. Power. Let me go back over here. Did not look at gold and silver because they're literally doing what gold and silver does, especially gold. Peter Schiff, poor dude. But in reality, he's only got like what 5-10% of his wealth in gold or whatever. So he just loves to talk shit about Bitcoin. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's using that narrative to try to become famous. Other than that, he's a dweeb. In my opinion. It's okay. Sayron, Takumi, you got any questions, you guys? Check your invite inbox for our entropy oscillator as well. Pull it up, pull it up. Okay, let's see. What side of the chart? You know what? I'm just gonna pull up. I actually think I still have it on here. No, that is actually there's the wave trend oscillator though. Really cool. Really cool. Yeah, let's get that off of there. What are you on back? 6. Um, there it is. Right, that's one good way. This is a good way too on your invite only scripts. When you get an invite only script, right? Favorite them all, right? Have them all favorited, except all this bull crap down here, right? The ones where they just will not let. Well, that's old alpha trading stuff, but got crowns bullshit in here and blah blah blah. Not much. That's about it. I wasn't a total degen that went from one fucking YouTube Jimmy to the next trying to learn how to trade, that's for sure. So then you just scroll down. Well, where's the new one I just got dropped? It sticks out like a sore thumb, does it not? Oh, there it is. Entropy oscillator. Add that to your favorites. Pull this baby up though. It comes stock. I don't this way. Obviously, I love my colors, so I set it up differently. There's divergences and stuff. It's an option. I don't like using divergences on the entropy oscillator, right? As much, but powerful. Got a smooth and an unsmooth. You can have them both on at the same time. Multi-time frame, pretty sure. So yeah, pretty cool indicator, you guys. You'll love it. Check it out. From the mind of Van F. Give him a shout out in the chat. I'm still working with it though, right? We'll get to it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Let's see. All right. So yeah, Bitcoin, crypto. I mean, there's a lot of profit taken right now, right? A lot of turmoil in the world. People want some cash, but then they're, taking cash. Well, I'm not gonna lie, right? If I walk in the grocery store right now, I mean, hello, how am I buying groceries? Yeah, exactly. So, got to throw some cash around. So the markets are definitely dumping out. You know what? Let's take a quick peek on the weekly. I'm gonna throw some projections on here. Crying out loud! SPY's a train wreck. Wow. But one good thing, right? I don't have to tell you. Those of us that use the distribution, you can tell already, last 4 weeks, what you're about to see, right? So, number one, let's turn off PB2. Or no, it has to be PB2. That's right. Continuous markets. Continuous market. Main reason why we have a couple of them, right? One's for continuous, one's for non-continuous. 4, surely. Nope. Don't want it. Guys, if you need help understanding how to use these, yeah, give us a shout out. I mean, this is perfect, right? You open up this week, you pump up. Look at SPY. Rejected perfectly off first standard deviation, right? Or no, 68.3, top side of the 68.3 Laplace distribution range. Let me, hold on. Yeah. Yep. So right now we're breaking through the 95.4 to the downside. That's an ugly weekly candle for SPY. I mean, we're talking about you make a move down here. We're about to get, obviously, new weekly levels. But let's see. SPY kind of closed right in no man's land in between the first and second standard deviation, normal distribution, right? Kind of closed right in the middle. Interesting. Started out, right? Opened up, pumped up right to the 68.3 Laplace on the weekly, down ever since. But yeah, you can see roared right up that week, rejected off the top side of the 68.3, dumped down, almost got to the first standard deviation normal distribution, pulled back up. Right? There literally was a 68.3% chance this candle closed inside the pink line. Didn't quite happen, right? Closed right there. This week tried to punch back up into there. Rejected big time, man. Rejected big time. A lot of big selling going on. Lot of big selling. That's what I wanted to see if this 95.4 was closed below. It sure was. Last week, kind of hung out right there. Had a little bit of a bounce, but rejected off that 68.3. I mean, you can see that's telling me right there, man. These algos, they're in sell mode, man. SPY is selling off. We got to get new. We're gonna get new monthly. I mean, almost. I mean, guys, literally almost did a 2 SD move to the downside this month. I mean, that's actually. You look at that. Holy McGoly. Man, oh man. So if you know how to read price action, looking at these wicks, And then you see this. That's like that's like a red alert, man. Let's see what happens. I mean, that was just a horrible close. Horrible close to the weekly and monthly. We'll have to see. But that's not seeing these wicks and then seeing how this weekly candle closed, that doesn't brew a lot of confidence in the market. I'll tell you that. And just in no man's land when it comes to I mean, I kind of like this wick that the data set's in right now. Super volatile, right? This, yeah, good, a good month, but as volatile as this, not even close. That was a people got wrecked that month. That's that kind of candle. Hmm. Yeah, I don't like it. And then you got just, I'm not one for news, but the world's a train wreck. So what the hell are you gonna do? People need money. They're gonna pull money out. That's pretty brutal though, man. That really does. That price action looks nasty. I mean, we could be where you people are just gonna lose their mind. You see something like this happen again. I mean, that's what it almost looks like it's brewing. Let's get back over here. Let's see if we can freaking sneak something. You were done with SPY. Yeah, I just got reinterested. Let's see. Um, boy, that is man. Did that thing close below? It did. Oh, that is ugly. I think I even talked about this. Look at the weekly. The weekly closed below the reverse Fisher. It's a 99 length variance log moving average is not out of the question, and that's another 30 points. Hmm. Wow, man. Bad close. Really bad close for SPY. Literally almost did a 2 SD, right? Second standard deviation closed. Yeah, these charts are just making me pretty quiet. Um, I mean, nobody likes to see people lose their wealth. I mean, there's a lot of unsuspecting people, right? Man, just got their money in the market and they're just gonna get slayed, man. Sucks. But bad close on the weekly. The monthly candle looks absolutely pitiful. The only thing it's kind of got going for it, I mean, the returns oscillator on the weekly is pretty deep, but there's no bull div at all. From way back here, I mean, it would be still. I mean, this is the last bump we got, right? Right here. 3 nice weeks. Back up, closed above all the moving averages, reverse wave trend, reverse Fisher, and then literally just dumped right back down. Contracting volatility too. I mean, literally fell off a cliff from 100% on the weekly to closed at 50, positively correlated. If that continues going into next month, oh boy, could be bad. I mean, going into trend too on the weekly. Guys, this is why we like our indicators. We want to know when trend's building, and boy, it's building. I mean, the correlation's really sloping hard down, but it is strong. to the downside. Real strong. Significantly positively correlated contracting entropy percentile. Look at the DLP. Anybody that uses a DLP, that's the weekly. That's right. Just oof, ugly is what it is building right now. Right? It depends on what happens next week. If that is the low of this move down on the DLP, there is definitely going to be bull div. So we'll see, but that's the only indicator. Actually, I mean, you do have some on the freaking log return z-score, and I talked about this a couple times this week about this log return z-score has been down here on the downside since the all-time high, right? Since the all-time high. Where did it go? It went up to like what, 4? Let's see. Yeah, 480. Yeah. Just been buried down here. Even this is what's crazy. Just look, right? You get your log return z-score busting out right over here. This move right here. Every other high, the whole way to the all-time high, was lower. And there was some powerful moves, right? So that's like, then all of a sudden, just wham! You get an outlier to the downside there. We're getting some dumps here. I mean, guys, that's a lot. From coming at the standpoint of this is a massive long-term time series, okay? We're talking November of 2020 on a weekly chart, building up all that bull div. And that's why, man, this thing could be stuck down here in the mud for a while. That's a lot of heavy pressure, and it's paying. You can see. And now that it's closed below that reverse fissure, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Just everything's kind of. That's why these times it's usually fucking good for Bitcoin, man. Gold is super manipulated, right? People say Bitcoin's manipulated. Bullshit. Gold definitely is. This would be a good time for Bitcoin to, for people. What are we going to do with our money? Our investment? Yeah, buy some Bitcoin. We'll see, because everything's going to follow Bitcoin, right? But hey, if we can get some cheap crypto here coming up, I'm all for it. I don't know about you guys. All for it. And drink the water. Yeah, remember yesterday I said I'm very positive SPY's going to do a 10-point move to the top side. And then people will be like, oh, see, that dumbass doesn't know what he's talking about. So that's why I said earlier, guys, I wake up, I get ready for my intraday trading. I open up the charts and I'm like, oh, look at SPY pre-market. Okay. Oh, you're going to do a little shifty poo? Is that what you're thinking? Then you're looking at the Nasdaq E-mini futures. You're replaying the entire fucking night since they opened 5 p.m. Central Standard Time Sunday night. You want to see that the price action and see what kind of pressure is going on, right? These are things. This is why you need to understand there's a process. You got to be able to flip your bias in a heartbeat when you're dealing with this kind of volatility. I would have been in all kinds of shorts today. This is a no-brainer. That bias would have changed immediately. That's the thing. I'm not here to give signals. Everybody knows that. That's why don't follow. Don't. If you hear me spit out something, don't take that as financial advice or advice to get in a trade or something. This stuff is highly volatile, right? You need to learn how to read these indicators, learn how to react to them, usually pretty damn fast, learn how to trade these low time frames. You'll be okay. Plenty of help in the Discord as well. Plenty. We're just tight-knit group of people, right? Not too many. We like it that way. It's all good. We're hogging all the good indicators. If you're lucky enough to find us and you want to come in, we're here for you. That is for sure. For sure. Let's see. That's enough. Spy's looking gross. Let's go to actually the index. Okay. I mean, see, that's the thing. We're gonna have to see what happens this weekend. But I mean, right? I was talking about the hidden bull on Bitcoin on the weekly. You can see it. This move down. Oscillator. Returns oscillator has flattened out big time. Just like the read on SPY too, right? We're contracting. Entropy percentile is contracting, significantly positively correlated. People be like, "Who the dumbass? He's correlating entropy and volatility." Oh, guys, we live in clown world. It's okay though. We're here for the the oppressed. It's hard to tell somebody they're a clown when they're living in clown world, right? You got to extract them. Then they're like, "Oh my God, I was in clown world." It's like, "Yes, you were. Time to learn how to trade volatility, my friend." Very interesting signature on this weekly. I'm telling you right now. You know what that tells me? I almost I think I was talking to MJ about it one time. I'm just watching the variance and how this to me looked in all these massive, right? Great moves. Look at the variance, right? The whole power move up to the first all-time high, and then the all-time high at 70K. Variance up and down, but look, it's just coiled up now like a snake. Like it just makes me think that the variance, when we pop this time, oh my goodness, man, this thing is going to get so volatile, right? And we've been talking about this. Look, this is a weekly. Here's the first run up down there from around 10K, right? Up to about what, 64? That first all-time high. Then we had the 50% pullback pretty much, right? Went sideways for a long time until we hit the 70K high. This is the last trend. The first run up on the weekly. All this has been random. Look at this shit. That's why we love this color coordinated. You can get the candles the same color as the entropy candle, right? That's what this is. Guys like, "Oh, he uses funny colors on his candles. Look, that dumbass doesn't even know which way the price is going, man. Oh my goodness gracious." All right. Well, it's an entropy thing, my brother. You wouldn't understand. Look how tight those bands were too, and then Bitcoin just decides to just float one to the top side. And isn't that fantastic? So fun. There was the last big pump, right? Bitcoin went up to what? Can't remember. $1,200 or something. Yeah. Or no. Sorry, like 14K first time back there. But yeah, this is when the weekly chart goes into trend again, from what I'm seeing on this variance, it's going to be an explosive move like we've never seen. This is like Wow. This is like the volcano at Yellowstone blowing. I mean, we could really take a massive move. And so just think about it. What Bitcoin is, what Bitcoin represents. Do you think it's going to be to the downside? I mean, I'm not like going on my gut. What just because of what it represents. Now, barring like fucking full scale World War fucking 30, whatever the hell we're experiencing, I really think when that does happen, it's going to the top side and it's going to be a massive move. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, look where we're at now. I mean, if this thing shoots up over 100K right now, people are just be going, "Oh my god, that was the best thing ever." I'd be like, "Yeah, it was. Wasn't that fun?" Uh, just as fun as going from 10K to 70. I mean, you kidding me? And if you trade low time frame volatility, look at the weekly. Look at the volatility bands. Guys, this is like party. Woo! Volatility central, man. What a great year. What a great year to trade. Right into the end of 2021, we were pumping right through the new year into January and February and March, the first quarter, and then lost trend. Haven't been in trend on the weekly since. So that's interesting. Some little trends here and there on the 3-day. Same with the 2-day. Yeah, good stuff. Got a little Bitcoin. We're gonna have to wait and see. Probably gonna be another boring weekend. Let's take a look at the VRE. Where's the new daily range? Probably about 3,900. Probably about 3,900 is what I'm shooting at, somewhere right around in here. Literally right now, going into the end of the day here in a couple more hours, these bears are probably definitely going to want to close this below first standard deviation to the downside. That is this blue cross line right here. Maybe even get a real flush out. What are the E-mini futures going at? Are they closed? 10 minutes? Yeah, 10 minutes they close. They're already closed, sorry. Just got absolutely slaughtered like SPY did. E-mini futures down 564 points, SPY down 15.8. Goodness gracious. And we'll have to see what Bitcoin decides to do going into the close of the day. Probably going to be going sideways. And under all kinds of volatility, right? All kinds of volatility. You're closing below, if it closes down here, right? Say we close down here around the S2, 38,150, $300 down or something. You're going to have the last literally 3 days, you're going to be below all those daily ranges, the weekly range, the monthly range. You're just buried. It's going to be I'll tell you what it'd be the perfect time just to absolutely hammer one side or the other. I'll tell you that. People are getting like, what are we doing here? Not paying attention. You run this up over the weekend or even dump it out, right? Go down and let me reload this chart real quick. Blow this up. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're lucky the mean of this projection is freaking right here. I'm telling you right now, this thing could have flushed out. We'd be at 36 right now, and people would be going, "Oh my God, we're going to 10K." MJ be clapping. Bilbo me a whale. All right, let's see. So we got a couple days over the weekend here, right? Pretty much. Need to look at my calendar anyway. Perfect opportunity. Yeah. So tomorrow, boom, coming in. Yeah, it'll be the second coming into Monday. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So tomorrow's the monthly close, which is good. We're going to get the new monthly deviation levels before we get the new weekly. That'll be cool to take a look at, and then I'll have some good juicy alpha for Monday. We can see where this thing's possibly heading. Let's throw. This is pretty sustained here. Especially, I mean, guys, let's be real here. I mean, look, man, it got stuck under the bottom side of this 68.3 from the projection at the 40. You guys know I love this 41K low. It's important. It really is. You can see how this all played a part. Same thing happened. Rejected right off the 95.4, right back to the mean. Reject off the 95.4, right back to the mean. Down below. Pulled back above. Volatility said, hell no. Started a new projection here, which, I would have loved to get another freaking week out of this. It didn't happen, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it rejected here, and the mean is holding, but I want to throw a projection on this down move. Thing is, do I throw one on the doji? I mean, because not really, man. Because here's the problem. You're like, well, that's a bearish candle. Well, you got to look at the way this volatility built on this. It opened up and it pumped to the 68.3 Laplace to the top side, right, on the weekly. And then just got hammered to the downside. Bounced, literally. Look at the wick. Right at the mean of the projection. Was that out of data set? No, hell, look how far above it is. This is why we love these indicators. There's a method to this madness. Look at the wicks. Look at the dots. Said enough. Anyway, right here, look at this rejection off top side of the 68.3. That's why I say I kind of don't like this, but I mean, there's some things starting to shape up. Would you start a projection here? Absolutely not, because look how this pulled back up. It closed bullish, in my opinion. Right? Dumped, but then whoop, just pulled back up big time. Pulled back up big time. So you got to start it here, in my opinion. And to be honest, it's not going to make much of a difference. All right? It's not going to make much of a difference. So 4 candles. Let's see. Hmm. Okay. Let's see what happens this weekend. Let me save this on the chart. Let's see what happens this weekend, huh? Let's leave it at that. There's take one more peek. And this is exactly what I said to MJ too. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see Bitcoin take a really quick dip down and then just bounce like a bat out of hell, man. Bounce hard. Because if this thing were to drop, I mean, I'm telling you right now, that's the thing. I mean, what are we going to get another 33 area? The problem is this imbalance between all these longs and the shorts, man. To be continued. How's that? We got to see how this plays out a little bit more, right? Because we're coming into the second and third month of the second quarter of 2022. I personally think it's going to be bullish for Bitcoin. So, yet to be seen. And let's keep it real, right? Keep it real as we're checking out here. Let's keep it real. All right. Look at that. I mean, we're talking about, hello. This is July 1st, 2010, right? This is just barely, this is right after, not too long after Bitcoin was born. So it's been a bull its whole life. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. You got to take profits. People got to take profits. This thing to me looks like it's revving up for a massive, massive freaking move. Yeah, massive. Possibly couple year move. Something, woohoo. Back when we nailed that freaking 20K high. That was a party, wasn't it? Enjoyed that thoroughly. And here's another thing, right? Yeah, we don't need to go back to that projection. Plus, don't have enough time. Got to wrap it up. So, yeah, it's good stuff. Are you there, MJ?
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm good.
You know
How
what
are
I
you?
like? I like that little deviation marker there at 29.46. Well, it looks
Hey,
real
man.
good before we get to the pump this to 100K.
I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I'm not.
baby.
I'm not mad. Go. Let's go. We get some crypto low again. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Don't make. They're not gonna make it that easy, though, right?
Right.
There's no way. It's going to be very, but how long? I mean, I'm looking at the super macro. This baby looks like it's ready to just whoop.
It's funny if you draw a curve. Try to draw a curve on the bottom side of those candles. I'm telling you, it's gonna line right up with that 29.46.
Wish I could throw a projection on this quarterly, but obviously there's not enough history. You're barely getting any. Look at this quarter though so far, right?
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
mean, it opened up. It went up a tick. It's been down ever since,
Yeah.
and we're almost at the 1SD. It's at
I'd love to hear
33.
what these guys in the chat think. Sayron, Yasha, well, where do you guys think's gonna go? Think it's gonna go
Yeah,
down before it goes up, or we have a low in right now?
here we go. Or do we close this second quarter at the 2SD, right? 20.9?
Mm-hmm.
That would do it. I know we're in agreement to that. 20K, that would wreck these longs that are just fucking on all this hopium, just holding on to these positions.
Yep.
It would wreck them hard. They'd feel it. They're stubborn too, man. People are stubborn. Why? Those longs been on there for why are I just don't get it, man. It drives me nuts. It's almost like it's an ego thing. I can't wait to show everybody my 10 trillion% move. Like you dumbass. You rich on
Sayron's got the best answer. I don't really know.
like you rich
Love
on
it,
paper.
Sayron. I don't really know, to be honest. That's the right
Yeah,
answer because we trade the volatility. We don't know where it's going. We're just prognosticating for fun.
I didn't even know I wasn't on the stream chat. Let me read all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sayron, for sure. On the checking the correlation on the low time frames, for sure. I'm looking at that 100%. Like when I'm running down, right? I'll take a peek at the 4 hour, 90 minute, 45. I'm definitely looking at them. I'm looking at that just like another indicator, right? You need to have another chart set up like that. I mean, you can throw it. You can just do it real quick, right? So take your indicators off and boom, 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 throw a little Pearson on there and yeah, exactly. Cheap Solana for the whales.
Yeah, I can see 25K too. Yep. Because a lot of times, if you notice in this long projection, like it never gets to that previous high, of the bull run. So it might not make it to 20. I mean, it could get really sucked up if it gets to 25 for sure. Yep. I'd take a bet there for sure. 25.
Yeah, I mean, we busted through it like no joke, right? Had this big, we had that nasty little freaking rejection.
Yeah.
But that was the whole COVID
Yeah, that was
freaking.
pandemic.
Then just pumped our nuts off, shot through 20K on that freaking look at that freaking quarterly candle.
Yep.
Like it was nothing. So would a quarterly candle closing right in this range, right at the 2SD look good? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's conspiratorial. It lines up right with that wick. Are we drunk?
It might not make it there though. It definitely could get sucked up somewhere in between.
People are going to be buying like crazy,
Oh yeah.
man.
And you talk about institutions, they're definitely going to be buying.
Yeah, there's no way it's going to be 20. I couldn't see it. There'd be too many people buying like under 30.
Yep.
30 is like the number, in my opinion. You break 30, it could go down, but I just don't think 30 is going to, right? We got down to what, 29.3, 30.1, and then that recent whatever, 33.
Yep.
This macro looks like, I wish it had more history so we could really see what the shit's thinking about. Yeah, it's all good. I'm going to get off here, though. What are you doing later, MJ?
I'll be around.
Looking at JPEGs?
I'll be around later.
Yeah, I'll hit you up. We'll talk about whale porn.
Please Google Catalina whales if you hear that and think otherwise.
I'm a very happy man. I am a Catalina whale holder. I aped in like a gorilla, so good shit.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah, everybody have a good weekend. I'll see you Monday. Later, guys.